map is, of course, Bel'Shir Vestige, Ladder Edition. Spawning in the bottom right-hand position as the red Protoss from STX Seoul. His name is Deer. And my mic keeps flying all over the place.
His opponent spawning as a blue Protoss on the left top corner of the map. His name is Hero, the god of Shindorim.
Yeah, so I want to brush up a little bit more about that Twitter question, you know, asking what kind of games do we enjoy besides StarCraft. I know, of course, you are a huge music game freak, man.
Well,
you love music games.
Let's not go there because we're on stream. That's something that I could answer more in depth after the stream or on Twitter.
That's how in depth he is about it, man. Maybe Twitter would be a bad place because you won't have enough characters to write about all the intricacies of you in music games, but this guy's good at Pump and DDR.
If someone wants an answer, tweet at me and then I could send you guys a detailed story on how much I love music games.
He'll give you like a dissertation, like a 20-page report on him and music games. How'd I know? I just know, man. I know you like music games. I'd have to say, as far as games go for me, I wish I got more into fighting games. I've always wanted to kind of get into them, just it hasn't really happened, but I did play a little bit of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 at my friend's back in the day, but besides StarCraft, as far as computer games go, I love to play Dota every now and then. I've been playing Dota 1 since the Warcraft 3 days. That was a great game as well. Played a little bit of Han as well, and I also like Counter-Strike Go. Path of Exile was such a fun game as well. I love that game.
Of course, StarCraft, #1.
StarCraft is #1. Always will be #1 in my heart. Nothing can change that unless somehow a better RTS is created, but Blizzard is not going to be able to get topped easily in that department.
That is quite true. Now, both players going for the double gas and Hero scouting in the natural. Pretty much I'm saying, Deer, I hope you didn't go for the same build that I did on this map.
Yeah, you know, just being extra safe and careful there. Why not go for the scouting? And interesting, we have 2 probes. Okay, now we're up to 3 on each gas for Hero there. Looks like he was slowly adding them in. Still 2 for Deer as well.
Usually you would add in the 3rd probes a little bit later in the game unless you want to go for really fast tech. And look at this, Deer getting the 3rd ones after getting a gateway for himself.
So he's going to go ahead, do the double gate pressure. Easily can go into a 3-gate stock with that, but still so many other openings that you can go into. Overall, the double gate opening is just a very safe and solid way to play. If you are kind of unsure what your opponent's going to do, or you just want to play as safe as possible while still having a good economic build.
What's funny is that the build actually started out as a counter to 4-gate when Yonghwa first started doing it, and it was a great counter, but after a while people said, well, this looks like a really solid opening, and I like getting the 3 stalkers out to gain some map coverage and sometimes even winning the game if my opponent plays too greedy.
Yep.
Now look at this, Hero with the fast gas. He's going to use it on the Stargate.
I thought you were going to say with the fast Stargate, man, not the fast gas. You threw me off there.
Sometimes it happens.
All right, well, we do have a Mothership Core on the way for Deer, as well as a lot of chrono-boosted stalkers here, so... Yeah, looks like, oh, look at this, though.
Wow.
Hero, he has got that Shindorim sense, man. He sees everything. He knows what's coming his way there. That probe almost getting killed off there. Oh, amazing snipe from Hero. He's also going to start hacking away at that pylon there. That Zealot's going to have to be careful because it can get easily sniped off by some Stalkers here. Stalkers are, of course, faster than Zealots on foot. Now we have Hero chronoing out a Stalker. We have 2 sentries from Deer, interestingly enough, so he's going to end up playing pretty defensive here. And now we're going to have a potential skirmish. The pylon goes down, so Hero doing a good job killing that off. Will he be able to get the Stalker? It's solo. 1 Stalker goes down for both sides, but I think in the end, Hero will lose more units, but at least he does kill off the probe. He kills off the pylon. There will be no aggression from Deer beyond a few Stalkers and that Mothership Core.
What's really smart about Hero is that he knew that his opponent was going to put some aggression, but he didn't know what type of aggression until he saw the Stalkers coming out. And he didn't build anything from the Stargate. He was saying, well, do I go for Phoenix or do I need to put up some gateway units out to defend against possible 4-gate or 3-gate pressure from my opponent? And now he's building an Oracle.
All right, well, the Oracle is going to move across the map here. We also have a Robotics on the way for Deer. He is completely ready for the Oracle harass, though. Not going to be really too concerned about that. Also, the pylon, the proxy pylon, looks like that was canceled by Hero there. I don't think he let that even complete there. Now, the problem is this Oracle, it's going to go in the main base, and it's going to have to get right out. It may even die to the Nexus Cannon if he's not careful.
Oh, definitely. And let's see what Hero actually follows up with. He's sending out a lot of Stalkers, so maybe he could try to go for a counterattack, but look at this hallucinated Phoenix scouting that Hero is moving out on the map.
I think what Hero really wants to do is force Deer to bring all of his units to the natural. The Nexus completes. We're going to see Nexus Cannon go down very fast here, and Hero just trying to bait something out of his opponent here. There are still Stalkers in the main base, though, for Deer, so I mean, this is the classic bait and switch move, essentially. Hero trying to force Deer to bring all of his units to the natural when he goes into the main base and does some damage with that Oracle. He's able to just miss the Stalkers, but it doesn't matter. Deer completely ready for this. A few probes will go down, but will he lose the Oracle? That's the real question here.
He gets up to 5 probes, and now he needs to get out of there. And yes, he is going to save the Oracle for now, but Hero, he needs to think twice if he wants to go for the Oracle harassment once again.
All right, Hero deciding to take an expansion behind this. Just going to apply a good amount of pressure and force his opponent to play quite defensive here. I guess the real question is, will we see Hero continue with this Stargate tech, or is he going to go into more Robotics? And oh, we have a little bit of a skirmish here. Decent force field from Hero, but he's got to be very careful losing with his micro. He does snipe off a sentry, but loses one of his own here, and still can't get too close to that base because of the Nexus Cannon.
Oh, nice snipe on the Mothership core. Deer wasn't even paying attention.
A little bit of a mistake from Deer. Now, the thing is, Deer, he's pretty far ahead in supply. It's 63 to 49. He's going to lose another Stalker. Got to get out of there. The pylon is also going to go down as well. So Hero, he's getting a Robo now while Deer's going for the Twilight. I feel like Hero is behind at this point. And also we have more, a little bit more of a skirmish going on here. I mean,
you can't play with the fire. The sentry actually has, you know, about 2 force fields. So if Hero decides to play with the fire, those Stalkers, they're going to get taken out by the Immortal. And even back at home, it's really hard for him. But look at this Oracle at the natural.
Nice. Good use of the Oracle. Hero using his multitasking skills, getting a few more of those. Going to back off now. Nexus Cannon goes down. Good force fields go down. Will we see another one? Lots of Stalkers do go down. Hero doing his best to equalize out this game.
Wow.
And wow, Hero is going to, he's going to lose that Oracle, but not after. He does manage to kill off a lot of probes beforehand. Still behind in the probe count, however.
Yeah, but that is something that he needed because his second Nexus was so far behind compared to his opponent. So now he's getting a little bit closer when it comes to economy. 39 probes to 36 before it was around, 30-ish to 20-ish.
Yeah. All right, so now with 36 to 41, Deer still having a slight advantage here. He's about 10 supply ahead. I think he does realize that Deer has an observer in Hero's main base. So now Hero opting to go for the Robotics, and that's going to be used against the Blink Stalker play from Deer.
It's going to get used against the Blink Stalker play, and he knows that if he tries to go for the Immortals, maybe he could get maybe 1 or 2 out, but he knows that he's going to be behind his opponent. So that's a really nice decision by Hero to go for the Robo earlier in the game. However, if he can defend against this push, then he's going to be completely fine.
He's going to need some good force fields here and a Nexus Cannon to make this happen. He's got the Mothership core out. The question, though, is, will he be able to put down the good force fields? And now we have a potential engagement here. Blink not done yet, but getting close. One Stalker getting sniped off for free there. Deer still maintaining pretty good map control and presence here, and that Blink is getting very close to completing. I think Deer is going to try the hit before the Colossus count gets too high.
Yeah, and Hero, knowing that his opponent is moving around the map, he needs to make sure that if he wants to scout around the map, only send 1 or 2 Stalkers around instead of his whole army. If not, it's going to get eaten up alive. He doesn't have a Blink for himself, so the Stalkers, if they get force fielded, well, say goodbye to this world.
Yep. Right now, Deer's still ahead by about 10 supplies here, but he really wants to be on the aggressive in this situation. And it looks like we have potential engagement here. We're going to see good Blink Stalker micro. Will we see the Mothership core cannon go down? Good force fields happen, and one force field barely missing that Immortal. Catching that Immortal would have been absolutely huge for Hero, but he doesn't really suffer any losses there at least for his units.
Random probe at the natural, getting inside the main base, also getting a scout.
Scouting out. We do have an Immortal and Colossus in Hero's army composition right now, and Hero doing a really good job at, finding all these proxy pylons from Deer here. That Zealot will die, but the pylon remains, and Hero going to do a little bit of annoying harassment here. He's going to spot that third base, see if he can cancel it, but now Colossus Tech out for Deer as well. Will Deer have enough units here in time to kill those Zealots, or will they force a cancel on that Nexus?
Well, it's almost here, and all Deer needs to do is put down the force field and focus down on the Zealots, but it's getting dangerously close for Deer, but it's not going to work. Only one Zealot left, and the Nexus is not canceled.
Hero, this must have prompted him to go for an attack. He's going to move out towards that third base. Both armies are looking incredibly close in supplies here. Hero down by 3 Stalkers, but he has that additional Colossus still down on 1 Immortal, though. It's really going to come up to superior micro in control in this army fight here.
Well, Hero, he just needs to scare his opponent, but not actually engage because of the firepower. With the second Colossus being added on by Deer, now Deer has the superior firepower. And nice forward blink trying to go for the Immortal.
Excellent time warp. Good force fields go down from both sides here, but it looks like Hero getting the better engagement here, equalizing the supplies, and now he's going to back out, not over committing to this attack. He will lose his Bel'Shir core, but he was able to at least even out the supplies in this for the armies here.
And the biggest difference, and the good news for Hero is that he didn't even have to sacrifice the Immortal or Colossus in this attack. The high-tech units, you could throw away a few Zealots here and there, few Stalkers, maybe even few Sentries if you can keep your Colossus alive in the engagement.
And Deer actually quite far ahead in the probe count, about 10 ahead. So if we look at the supplies right now, army-wise, Hero's pretty much at the same level as Deer right now. And his economy not as good, but it's still pretty decent, I'd have to say. He's still got over 50 probes.
Yeah, the difference is not huge enough for Deer to have a complete lead in the game where he could go for a counter-attack and win the game. Not just yet. Hero, if he just starts slowly catching up, then we're going to see a huge 200-200 battle.
It looks like we have Hero first opting to go for that Templar Archives. Not going to see any type of Void Ray play from either side yet this game. We could see that a little bit in the future. We also have a cannon going down, looks like probably by Hero's third base, just in case that there are any Dark Templar around on the map. Actually, it looks like it's going on in the main there. Both players playing actually quite similar right now, and now we have some swipes going off here. Hero needs to be quite careful. He can't let his Colossus get caught out in the open. He does have the superior count. Both players also going for that double Robotech play.
You know what's, does Deer actually have charge?
Yeah, his charge is done.
Okay,
Heroes will be done soon.
Just double checking before I make a comment about that. So both players going for the third base, and like I said before, this is looking a lot more like Wings of Liberty PvP right now. Both players trying to get up to get a lot of Colossus, adding the Archon, adding the Immortals, and with the addition of new Stargate units, I would like to see players adding in Tempest instead of the Void Rays actually, because Tempest can actually get your army into much better position and get your opponent's army, start panicking, get them into, unfavorable position, and then win the engagement. So Void Rays are good, but Tempest, in this situation, it's going to work out against the Colossus.
Yeah, I definitely would love to see those Tempests added into this army here. Both sides have a lot of Colossus now, and you can't really ignore them anymore. The supplies are still in Deer's favor. He's had a supply advantage pretty much throughout the entire game, but Hero is starting to catch up in that probe count. He's up to 61 now. He's pretty much set when it comes to economy. Not going to be a big deal after this point. Also,